Juste un mot de bienvenue dans ce premier arrondissement pour cette haute délégation de la Commission des Affaires étrangères du Congrès américain. Mais reconnaissant ici beaucoup de visages connus, vous savez que c'est, pour moi, un message de fidélité, de sincérité et de solidarité. Je souhaite la bienvenue au président Rob Rabaker, au président Ted Poe, au congressman Brian Higgins et au congressman Paul Cook.
And now today, I am very pleased to be here in the spirit of Lafayette to help you struggle for freedom. All I say to you tonight is, and I say to Madam Rajvi, your fight is our fight. We are with you. One of the symbols of this fight, of course, has been the terrible situation that we found ourselves in when there were 3,000 helpless refugees put in harm's way in Iraq. And then, a few days ago, rockets began slamming into Camp Liberty. Who is held responsible for those deaths? Those 7 people who died and those many more who were wounded and now will live their lives with wounds and live in agony. Who is responsible? Yes, the Mullah regime obviously has put pressure on, but I will tell you, Prime Minister Maliki will be held responsible for any attacks and deaths of those people in Camp Liberty. We will hold him responsible. If there are more attacks, we will put forward a resolution declaring Maliki and his government a supporter of state terrorism to be treated as a terrorist regime. We now need to declare our solidarity with people throughout the world who struggle against the tyranny of radical Islam and whatever tyranny suppresses the spirit of humankind. And how will we show that? We will show that through, number 1, protecting the people at Camp Liberty. Number 2, working with you, Madam, to making sure that the people of Iran have an alternative.
It is necessary that we move immediately to take the good people out of Camp Liberty and move them back where they can be safe in Camp Ashraf. And continue the struggle. Delisting was a first step, an important step, but it is not the only step in this struggle. And I say this to the daughters of democracy and the sons of liberty in Iran and Camp Liberty and other places in the world, there are many of us who will continue to stand by you to make sure that the struggle for freedom is not your struggle alone, but the struggle for everyone who believes that people should be free and have liberty.
When you look at a beautiful country like Iran, 80 million people, 70% under the age of 25, and we have an obligation, and that's what we're doing here as a delegation, to ensure that we can do everything we can to support your efforts to define freedom in your own terms so that your kids and their grandkids can realize the full potential of citizens of the great country.
Well, I'm going to be very, very brief. And I came here, and Madam President, you gave us more insight to your struggle, and to meet with these people right here, to talk about making an impression. And everyone here is saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
I found our discussion very constructive. I'm confident that this meeting will strengthen the ties between the Iranian people and their resistance with the U.S. Congress. the Iranian society, despite brutal suppression, is ready for uprising. The people of Ashraf and Liberty are the most organized part of the resistance. They are source of inspiration for the youth and women. They form the core of a resistance whose extension is in Iran. Therefore, mullahs resort to any means to destroy it. We brought this fact to the attention of the US government and the United Nations on a number of occasions during 2012. We said that forcible displacement to liberty would endanger the security and protection of the residents. But unfortunately, they paid no heed until it was proven in the tragic massacre of February 9. This is the result of this massacre. 7 persons who were died, and unfortunately here we have the picture of 6 injured. Now the problem is that massacre against the residents of Liberty can take place any day and any time. The real solution to the problem before another attack is to facilitate immediate return of members of the resistance to Ashraf, as you also underscored. To this end, first, the international community, especially the government of the United States and the United Nations, must pave the way for their returns. The UN High Commissioner for Refugees must declare the collective refugee status of members of the resistance. 3, the UN Secretary General must appoint an impartial representative on this matter and set up a fact-finding mission to investigate the massacre of Camp Liberty residents. And 4, above all, it's time for European and the US governments to side with the Iranian people in their desire for regime change and establishment of freedom and democracy in Iran. I thank you all very much. Thank you for your delegation.